Hey everybody, welcome back. As always, it's been a while. I haven't got a lot done on the S10, so we're not even going to worry about that right now. Got a request from my father-in-law to help with his car. So his request is basically make it something that's a reliable car. And the way he wants to do that is stick a different engine in it. So, by all means. And I got some other little stuff, piddly stuff to do with it too. But he just bought this car last year. 1966 Mustang. So, nice looking car. It had a restoration done on it. Rotisserie restoration, so it's pretty clean underneath. He's this is what he wants to do. By all means, his car, whatever he wants. So it's got some love and attention it needs, and we're gonna get it to the point that he wants it at. It had been sitting since October last year. Just got it started in here yesterday. So right now it's got, from what he understands, it's a 302 with a C4. He said it had a 9-inch, but looking at it, I think it's an 8, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So the biggest things, this thing has a rack and pinion in it already, which is a manual rack, and he wants to switch it over to a power rack, so we're going to go ahead and get that done for him. We're going to swap over to a crate engine, 302, 365 horse, little bit of a cam in it, see what happens. So he's already put different wheels and tires on it, looking pretty good. Air shocks in the back. Yeah, he's done a few things. It didn't have a coolant tank. It's missing stuff. It does have AC. I think the AC works. He got a center console for it that he wanted. Put on a radio. There's some other issues that need to be resolved, like the dash pad screws never got put in, and just some other little minor stuff. It looks like the restoration was going fairly well and then ended abruptly. So I don't even know if it was driven by the other owners during the restoration, or after the restoration, rather. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the transmission out. Because the new engine that he wants has different stall, and I just want to make it easier pulling this engine out. So we're gonna drain fluids and go from there. I did mess around with this thing a little bit when I got it in yesterday. I don't think the carburetor has ever been adjusted or addressed to this engine. I don't think the jets have ever been changed. It just got thrown on there. The electric choke never even got hooked up. So, and the initial timing was 4 degrees, which for a 302 is a little light, so it wasn't running quite right. Idle was low. So I had adjusted a little bit of it, but as far timing and idle, that's where I pretty much adjusted timing and idle, and it ran better, but he still wants a different motor, so I'm just going to go ahead and do what he wants. So we're going to go get this pulled out, and I don't know if I'll get it all pulled out today. He's got, I think, Monday night, it's Sunday today, so tomorrow night, we're going to go ahead and order the new parts and get them coming. Don't know how long they're going to take to get here, but we're going to go ahead and get this out and get it ready to go. Now we got nice fenders, nice everything, and we don't have any fender aprons here, so we're going to use some moving blankets and put a moving blanket around the car so that I'm not leaning over it and trying to scratch anything up. I know the paint is Not the best, but you know what? It's good, and he's happy with it. So maybe I'll see if I can buff some of it out when I'm done. But the main priorities is that he wants something that's reliable and something that he can drive, hop in and go as far as he wants without any major issues and puffing and huffing. The speedometer cable did break in here too. Not sure why, but that broke, so I got to fix that. I got some issues with the gauges. The reverse lights don't work. They're there, but they don't work. So I got to fix that, make that work. Like I said, he put the new radio in. He's got to hit an antenna, and he's not receiving any signals. So we'll have to figure that out. And then we'll just get his center console installed. The duct work up to the defrosters was never hooked up. That was just laying in the dash. So we'll get that hooked up. I think he wants a tack in here and a couple other things, you know. You get a new car, you got to do what you want to do to it. The cam for the turn signal does not cancel, so we got to figure that out. See what's going on there. Pull the steering wheel off and get that fixed. So stick around. Figure out how to record this, where we're gonna go with it, and I mean it's gonna start with boring stuff, and I'll try and get everything that I can on here. I know I'm not the best at setting up cameras and recording, and I mean, I haven't recorded crap on that thing, so I really should be. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get everything drained out, get the motor ready to pull. We'll get the transmission out. Hey, you know, if we get the transmission out and the engine out today, that'd be wonderful. I'm not going to mess with the AC system at all. It's just going to flop over to the side. So I do need to see about adjusting the mounts though, because we have an issue right here on the hood and this line. So we'll see what we can do. Right now, the other line hits the distributor spark plugs there. So it's not designed for an HEI distributor. And the new motor that he's going to have will not have that. So hopefully it'll be better. Time will tell. But let's get started. I'm going to throw some YouTube up on the TV in here and get going. Alright, so the battery gun died. Pulled a couple things apart while that was charging. I sat inside the house for a little while and watched my goddaughter. So, got a little bit of stuff off, got the brace off. Hood is off. Battery's out, I think you guys saw that. Sounds like the radiator's finally done draining there, so I'll go ahead and move that pan over to the other side and pull the lower radiator hose, pull off the transmission lines, and get that taken care of. We'll finish up this stuff And hopefully, you know, we never know. We might actually pull a motor and train it today. We'll have to see how this all pans out. If we can get it all out, that'd be great. So, yeah, we'll see how this all goes. I want to get the fan off and get that out of the way. Pull a radiator to get that out real close there. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost wondering if that fan is on backwards. So, I know there was mention of this thing running pretty hot, and that could be why. So, we'll figure that out. All right, so we've got quite a bit done. A little bit of time, not much. You might have saw me shake my head a few times. There's some things I would have done differently, but I wasn't the original builder. We'll correct some things when we put it back together. some of the wiring, and some other stuff. We'll make it better. That's all we can do. Just make it better. So right now, the engine is pretty much, for the most part, disconnected from everything. At least on the top. The motor mounts are still hooked up. The exhaust flanges are still hooked up. The bottom bolts. Most of the transmission bell housing bolts are out from the top. They still have the starter to take out down here. Yeah. And obviously the torque bolts, torque converter bolts. So we actually got quite a bit accomplished already. We're at the point now where we got to jack up the car. I took the transmission dipstick out, being a dipstick like I normally do, and spilled transmission fluid all over the floor. So I got some floor dry on that, cleaning that up. Jack up the car, get the rest of that mess cleaned up, drain the tranny fluid, get the torque converter bolts out, pull the starter, pull the exhaust off, and then we will probably, since we're under there, drop the transmission. And once that's done, then we'll go ahead and hook up the motor, pull the engine mounts, and yank the motor. Sounds easy. I don't know. So we'll just keep moving. Yeah. I think I need to throw this thing back on the charger again already. Batteries don't seem to last as long as I want, and I don't have a spare battery for this camera. So I'll throw this back on the charger for a little while I go and get this thing jacked up, get it cleaned up underneath, and we'll move on. So, thanks for sticking around with me. So it's been in and out today. I definitely didn't stick on it like I planned on it, and that's not outside the regular, you know. Definitely not around here all the time like I wish I was. So this is where we're at. Engine's still in. No problem. It's fine. Radiator's out. Better take that out before I forget. Make a mess. Okay, come with me down here. Hopefully we can see here. All right, so as long as you can see, you probably can't. Transmission's out, exhaust is out, drive shaft obviously. Ended up having to cut the exhaust off. They welded everything together, so there was no flanges except for where it went into the exhaust manifolds up there. It's just too dark under here. You just can't see nothing. So we'll look at it out here. So exhaust manifolds are right here. They welded it to the intermediate pipes, and they welded right to some glass packs and all the way out the back. And then they actually tack welded one of their exhaust hangers on there too. So all that's out. We're done. Well, for the most part. It's gonna take probably 10-15 minutes max to pull that motor out. Just gotta undo the bolts on the bottom and pull it out. Unfortunately, it's gonna take 10, 15, 20 minutes just to get to the engine hoist. So I got enough stuff to do outside of this today. I gotta get ready for work for tomorrow. So we're gonna call our quits on this for the night. I don't even know what time it is. My kids just got home a little bit ago, so we're gonna call it quits and hopefully pick up on this tomorrow. It is missing an engine block plate. There's all kinds of interesting things on here, let's just say that. But we're ready to hook the chain up, lower the car down a little bit, and hook the chain up and let her buck. The main reason I wanted to get the transmission out is so that we order the right torque converter for the right model transmission. This transmission is a C4. The date code is an E on it, so that should be a I want to say it's 1980s. Anywho, sorry about that. So yeah, I needed to know what spline the input shaft was so we could order a torque converter. That was the biggest thing. So he'll be here tomorrow night. We'll order parts and I can hopefully clean up parts. I'm not actually worried about pulling this motor out right now because I don't have another motor to stick in it right now. So we can do what we can do and go from there. So I appreciate everyone that's watching. Thank you very much. If you want to see what happens with the rest of this car, go ahead and hold on. Okay, we'll try this again. I appreciate everybody that's watching. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you if you like it. Thank you for commenting. It's all appreciated. So if you want to continue to watch the build on this or watch the rest of that come together when we get to it, or watch the 47 when we get to that, all kinds of other stuff, stick with me. I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you very much, and have a great day.